All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. Definitely get really active in the comment section regarding your predictions for this huge matchup between Big Ten, Penn State, and the Auburn Tigers. Down in the Deep South, college football is king, and on the plains of Auburn, the battle cry is War Eagle. This weekend, college game day, ESPN is not going to be there, but SEC Network is definitely going to be on the scene for this huge matchup, as this will be the first Big Ten team that has come to Jordan-Hare Stadium to play a football game. And I think the venue will be definitely class act and second to none. The Auburn Tigers come into this football game 2-0 after wins over Mercer out of Macon, Georgia, and San Jose State. Penn State comes in with the win over conference foe Purdue and a win over Ohio. This is going to be a very difficult game to predict because we don't know, where these two teams are as far as solidarity. Penn State definitely showed some resilience in that comeback from behind win over Purdue, continuing to give themselves chances to win that football game. And the experience of Sean Clifford continues to be a factor, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. Auburn, on the other hand, still having some quarterback issues, still switching quarterbacks in and out. Don't seem to be solid on who the permanent starter is going to be. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of folks talked about the offense not really clicking, but in my opinion, now it's strictly my opinion. You can ask whoever you want. You need to listen to me, listen to whoever else you want to listen to. But I just don't think that you can sustain a situation where you're trying to get receivers locked in, you're trying to get the offensive line locked in, you're trying to get the running backs locked in on offense with some type of consistency if every other play you're pulling your quarterback out. In my opinion, that's something that really should not happen very often. I understand you want to get some quarterbacks, some tries and things like that, but in a game like this, you got to pick one and roll with them. I think your best choice, best case scenario at the moment is TJ Finley. When TJ Finley is on, he's on, and he definitely is going to have to be on in order to give Auburn a chance to win this football game. Robbie Ashford does need to play. However, I think Robbie Ashford gives that second edge, gives that Auburn an opportunity for some big plays to spark the running game, to help the running game out. I think he needs the football in his hands as well. A heavy dose of Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter, who actually had very good games last season when Auburn took on Penn State up in State College, Pennsylvania, for the whiteout. And I think that gives Auburn a chance to get some type of momentum, some type of movement going offensively, because so far we haven't really seen what the Auburn fan base really wants to see out of the offense. And that's some consistency, and that's the ability to run the football, and that's the ability to pass the ball vertically downfield. So I think Auburn is going to definitely have to do that, but they got some challenges though. Experience is going to be a huge factor. On the Auburn side, some of the more experienced players, you have TJ Finley and you have Owen Pappo, who's made the return as linebacker, the former five-star recruit, one of the best linebackers in the country coming out of high school, has been really quiet during his career at Auburn because of injury, and two, he's just not a flashy Kayvon Thibodeau type player out of Oregon. He's not a really flashy guy, but he makes really good plays, and he's very athletic, and he's very rangy, and he could give Auburn the opportunity to play some really solid defense, especially in that intermediate passing game area and also tracking down the run. Also, you got Cam Riley, who's not experienced, but who has come on and made his presence known. And on the offensive side, you have TJ Finley, who has started for two SEC football teams, Auburn and LSU. He provides that experience. He's been in the big games. He had the big one against Alabama, almost pulled that one off. So that's going to be huge for him. One of the keys is going to be, will the offensive line for Auburn be able to get some push? They did a solid job last season getting Tank Bigsby some room. I think you got to really push that envelope with the running game. On the Penn State side of things, though, looks pretty good. You got Sean Clifford, a very experienced quarterback. What Penn State is looking for out of him is to take his game to the next level, to take his game to, I'd say above average to average to above average at times, to be consistently above average, especially with his experience and with all of the games that he's played and all of the different scenarios that he's been in. Sean Clifford is going to have to really, really find a way to manage the emotions of this crowd down here at Auburn. He's going to have to get them out of the game quick, because once you get that crowd rocking, it could be a nightmare for Penn State when it comes to the crowd noise and penalties and things like that can actually neutralize the football game. Also, one of my favorite players on Penn State's team is Joey Porter Jr. You'll see him as number 9. He's a very solid cornerback. He had 8 solo tackles against Purdue, missed an opportunity at an interception in that game. And I think he could be a key factor in an interception-prone quarterback crew for Auburn. And you get that wrong interception at the wrong time, you could be looking at Auburn being in the hole just like last year when they took the trip up to Penn State and putting themselves in some seriously adverse positions. All right, so here's what we got. We got Auburn. We are Penn State coming to town. The crowd is going to be loud. You probably heard this on every prediction show. They talk about the crowd. They talk about the home field advantage. They talk about, the Big Ten first time at Auburn, which I think is a fun fact. Can Penn State, with their experience, with their ability to, usually when I see Penn State, they're usually poised in hostile environments. This one is pretty hard to predict because, for one, I just don't know enough from what I've seen about Auburn and their ability to consistently run the football, pass the football, unless I see a consistent quarterback. If I see a consistent quarterback, and if I had seen the body of work of a consistent quarterback that was, pretty solid, it would be easier to make this prediction. I got Penn State coming to town. Penn State breaks the heart of the Auburn fan base and really puts Brian Harsin in an adverse position. I think Auburn, with their youth, will make some mistakes that will be crucial to the outcome of the football game. It's prediction time. I was going back and forth. I want you to leave your comments in the comment section. I got Penn State this year, 27-24. I think Auburn makes some crucial mistakes down the stretch that gives Penn State matter of fact, go back and look at the Purdue game. I think it's going to go kind of like that. I think Auburn has chances to pull away, but allows Penn State, with their experience and their ability to win, because see, when you have experience, you find ways to win. And I got Penn State 27-24. I hope you guys enjoy this football game, and I hope to hell that I'm wrong. This game will be televised on CBS, 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be the SEC on CBS. Like I said before, like the video, comment for sure your predictions, subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Would be great if you could become a member, but your subscription and your participation on the channel is good enough. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.